pleasure to introduce the class speaker from our master's program, the LLM program, Saad Rasool.
Woo!
Before actually starting my speech, let me say that I'm just one of the several hundred LLM class students that we have here who are the most incredible group of scholars and individuals I know, and just a round of applause for them all. Dean Minow, Dean Cosgrove, families, friends. Every year, Harvard Law School receives thousands of applications for admission to the LLM class. Each year, 3 piles are made. First, the top 180 or so applicants who receive the acceptance letter. Second, all those who receive the rejection. And finally, a third group of applications that receive a letter saying, "What were you even thinking applying to Harvard?" For the class of 2011, someone confused the piles. But keeping aside what Dean Minow calls the imposter syndrome, the LLM class of 2011 boasts students from over 60 countries and across 6 different continents. We have barristers and bureaucrats, professors and PhDs, soldiers and peace workers, former politicians, and future leaders. And together, we have showcased our individual diversity as well as collective strength, and realized that we as a global body are greater than the sum of our parts. But we've also realized that true celebration of diversity entails allowing oneself to see the world from perspectives that run contrary to our most entrenched beliefs. Let me explain. I, like many others, came to Harvard Law School in search of legal and intellectual ideas that support my conception of law. Ideas that support my conception of constitutional law, of human rights, of international trade. But this search came to a halt during the international law class when my deepest convictions about democracy in the Muslim world were fiercely challenged. Flustered, I raised my hand and said, "Professor, I'm completely confused as to what is right and wrong." She smiled, leaned forward, and said, "Finally, education is having an effect on you." And suddenly it was clear. The true essence of learning means resisting the temptation to ossify our beliefs and instead pausing to rethink our subjective entrenchments. At Harvard Law School, the LLM class has experienced this spirit. We have seen Arabs and Israelis play together on the same crimson teams. We've seen Indians and Pakistanis come together to celebrate Eid as well as Diwali. We saw religious biases fade away as all faiths were invited to the Yom Kippur dinner. We sang Shosha with our friends from Africa, hummed freedom songs with our Egyptian kins, and realized that human potential does not depend on gender, nationality, race, or sexual preferences. And most of all, the LLM class has realized that our host country and her people, who are too often criticized around the world as exporters of war and capital imperialism, we've seen generosity in their way of life, rigor in their intellectual discourse, and compassion in their acceptance of varied cultures. Most LLMs experience this through the host family program. I have personally seen this with the family of Donna and Mark Leventhal, who took in a Pakistani boy and made him feel that Cambridge was a home away from home. Thank you very much. Surely, friends, we can emulate the same spirit beyond the bounds of Harvard. Of course, in this brave new world, Harvard would still be better than Yale. As my friends from South Africa have taught me, there's an old African idea called Ubuntu. Literally, it translates to, I am who I am, because of who we all are. As we go forth from this day to embark upon the journey to shape those wise restraints that make humankind free, in search of veritas, which is the enduring quest of every Harvard student, let Ubuntu be the light that guides our path. So with this hope, and in profound recognition of the love and support and guidance we've received at Harvard, I thank the distinguished faculty and administration, the incomparable student body, and the exceptionally dedicated members of the graduate program for their love and guidance throughout this year. But above all, I thank the families and friends who've gathered to celebrate this day for us. You are the passion in our efforts and the strength in our beliefs. On a personal note, I'd like to thank my family, who's sitting right there, for their love and unflinching support over the years. Woo! But for me, this day would be incomplete without recognizing the most honest, loving, and inspired human being I know, my father, Iftikhar Ahmed. Baba, you always advocate integrity over convenience, truth over expediency, and humility over swagger. It is an honor just to be your son. So Harvard Law School class of 2011, JDs, LLMs, SJDs, as we go forth from this day to assume the reins of tomorrow, let us vow to step outside the gates of our personal, national, religious, and racial idiosyncrasies. To join our hands as one collective people in an effort to unlock that higher fraction of human potential that is in all of us, in service of a more diverse, progressive, and peaceful society. Congratulations, and I thank you.
Well done. It is now my great pleasure to announce the beginning of the awarding of the degrees to the class of 2011.